Welcome into the Business on Purpose podcast. Scott Beebe, your host, the head coach, the founder, where it is time to liberate you from the chaos of working in your business. Just got out of a meeting with a client, and this was one of the questions, and at the time of this recording, it is getting close to year end, and so small business owners are starting to get notifications about increases in fees, dues, annual pricing, et cetera, et cetera. And this particular business owner, not uncommon actually, a lot of folks are getting this communication right now, is getting communication that his health insurance premiums are going to increase another 30% this year. So just from a timing standpoint, so you know this recording's coming out at the end of 2017. And so last year it increased 30%. This year it will increase an additional 30% on top of the already increased premiums. And clearly there's no increase in coverage in terms of the actual value of the health insurance. It's just that the premium's increasing. Now, I believe there's a lot of political reasoning as to why. I'm not quite sure. You know, at the end of the day, for this discussion, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the reality of what the increase is. And so the question is, what do we do? What are our options with health insurance, which is such a key aspect of small business owners? And regardless of where you fall in the spectrum of your conviction of what a small business owner should do related to health insurance for particularly W-2 employees, it's important, obviously, that we think about the entire health and well-being of the team members that we have the privilege of being able to work with. And so I want to give you an option. One option, obviously, is just to kind of go call your insurance representative and get them to shop the market and go about with that. The second option, which to me is not an option, is to not do anything at all, unless you're independently wealthy and you would be classified as a self-insured type of person. Statistically, most of you are not going to be in that category. We're not in that category. The third option is one that we've used a couple of times and are in the midst of using right now, and it is medical sharing, or they call it like sharing plans. There's a couple of big players in these markets. One is a group called MediShare. It's MEDI and then share. The second is a group called Samaritan's Ministries, and I'm sure there are others, but those are the two big players in the market right now that I know about. Here's the concept, the best that I can lay it out for you. Imagine there's an entire pool of people, which there actually is, an entire pool of people, a few 100,000 strong. And what those people do every month is they make a commitment that they're going to write a check every month for a certain amount. Let's just use the amount of $500. Now, most insurance premiums for families are going to be in the four figures, not the three figures. It'll be $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Let's just say in this case it was $500 per month. And all of these families decided they were going to write a check regardless, kind of like an insurance premium, right? But these checks were going to go into a pool and into a big pool of money. And every single month, somebody's going to have something within that pool. Somebody's little Johnny's going to break an arm. Somebody's going to have a diagnosis. Somebody's going to get pregnant. There's a variety of things that are going to happen within that month. And so that pool of money will then be divvied out according to the needs that each one of the members has within the group. And so it's not insurance necessarily, although it sounds a lot like it. It's a medical sharing program. And there's a couple of key elements about the medical sharing program. And you might even say, well, it sounds too good to be true if that's what the monthly kind of payout is, say $500 a month. And I'll tell you, for us, it is $500 a month. And then what you do is anything up to $300 per month, that month that you spend on medical expenses, you just pay it out of pocket. So for instance, I went to get my physical a couple of months ago. My physical was $200. I paid the $200 out of pocket. I did not claim that because anything up to $300, I just pay for out of pocket. It's what keeps our insurance premiums down. And again, it's not insurance premiums, medical sharing. It's what keeps that down. And so in utilizing this, it has been an absolute reduction in costs for us as a family. For a while, we were using Ashley's insurance when she was teaching full-time. She's no longer doing that. And so we went back to the medical sharing. Now, you might ask, does this really work? Well, we've never had to use it, fortunately, but we have written a check every single month to a family. Like literally, we get a notification online that the Smith family, Dave and Jennifer Smith, this month need our payment. And so we send our check to Dave and Jennifer Smith. In fact, we were doing our reconciliation for our monthly reconciliation the other day. And it was really interesting. I said $500 check to Chad Jeffries. I was like, who's Chad Jeffries? That's a real person I know. Chad Smith. Who's Chad Smith? And Ashley and I, we just could not figure it out. It was in our unreconciled expenses. We couldn't figure it out. And then we finally had the aha of, oh my gosh, yes, Chad Smith. That's the person that we sent the medical share to that particular month. And so you send them a little note, let them know that you're praying for them, if you do, in fact, remember to pray for them. And it's a great kind of communal aspect, knowing that there are real live individuals that are sending you real live checks so that you can pay your real life medical bills that month. There's a lot of other cool nuances to it, like actual requesting deductions in your medical payouts. So if you had a hospital bill for $10,000 and it encourages you to go and try to decrease that hospital bill on behalf of the group. And so you actually take a little bit more ownership in your medical expenses. I had one friend who last year had a son go to the hospital for a month, and he himself had a heart attack, all in the same year. I can't remember if the figure was $250,000 or $500,000, but they were in one of these programs. I forget actually which one it was. It's one of those two, Medi-Share or Samaritan's Ministries, and their medical bills were covered entirely, up in the six-figure range. So I know it works. We've had friends that it has worked. You do take more ownership in your medical expenses. It's not as simple and easy as insurance, and yet at the same time, your monthly payout is going to be significantly less. There are two major catches to this. Number one is you cannot be a smoker. If you are a smoker, they will not let you into the program. Number two, actually there are three. Any of your pre-existing conditions, you got to look and see what is covered. Some of the major pre-existing conditions are not going to be covered, but are covered if they don't already exist. And so, if you contracted if you got cancer, then down the road those actually would be covered. And all of them are on there. Just Google Google Medi-Share, Google Samaritan's Ministries, and you'll see everything as it is laid out. And what we have found in our experience with them is that they have been incredibly truthful, incredibly upfront, incredibly transparent with the dollars that are running through the organization. So go check it out. See if it fits you. You can also join. They have kind of a similar product as to what the Aflac insurance would be. I forget what they call that, but supplemental insurance. They've got something that looks like that where you can be a part of. We're actually a part of that. And then they've got a level that if you believe your medical expenses are going to exceed $250,000 a year, then you can pay a couple $100 extra bucks a year and be in kind of a catastrophic pool. And we're in that as well. So anyway, go check it out. That's one option for your health insurance. If it's increasing this year, the websites will be able to give you a lot more than that. And let us know if you're interested in Samaritan's Ministries, and we'll be delighted to connect you with a contact person there. So hopefully that helps. That's the wisdom and the insight that we brought to one of our small business owners we thought we'd bring to you. And as always, if you need clarity in your business, go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision, and we'll be able to help you out there. Hey, hope you have a great day. Join us next time right here on the Business on Purpose podcast.